Hello, dear friends. Here we are. We are here at Wisdom for the Spiritist Practitioner. And this is the book. This is a book that is inspired in several messages by several authors through Chico Xavier. The book in Portuguese is titled Educandário de Luz. In English, it's going to be somewhere towards Educational Institute of Light, Several Spirits. From Dr. Bezerra de Menezes to Emmanuel, André Luiz, Humberto de Campos, Eugênio Brito, and others. You will see Alta de Souza, we'll see spirits like Casimiro Cunha and others. All of the messages in this book are compiled to instruct and empower the Spiritist Center, the Spiritist Practitioner, the Spiritist team, which is important. It's vital. I don't think when we become Spiritist practitioners, we actually have enough instruction. It's always a need to instruct ourselves. No wonder the spirits have said, and it's published in the Gospel according to Spiritism, that we should love one another and instruct ourselves. We should love one another in a Spiritist Center, which is not a given. Love is a conquest. Oh yes. Love, as we say, the love more evolved and sublime, it's a conquest of the soul, of the spirit, the immortal spirit. It's not something that is given to us. So when we enter a Spiritist group, if we expect to find in that group true affinity, like instantaneous affinity, and at the same time easygoing people, etc., then we're dreaming about it. It's only going to happen in other places. On the earth, we need to conquer it. We may love the group, but as we saw in the message yesterday by Emmanuel, when the group looks stable, balanced, that's when crisis is going to come up. We should expect it. Today, Emmanuel, in another message, titles it In the Spiritist Group. His message is short. Look at this. Short, but we would call it's a quiz. A quiz for the Spiritist Center. If you want to give a boost to your Spiritist group, bring this message, pass it around to the members, and say, friends, let's meditate on this, shall we? Let's do this quiz, and in this checklist, let's see where we are. It doesn't matter, we're not here to judge anybody, but we're here to boost one another's best. Shall we? Yes, we shall. At the Spiritist group is the message. And Emmanuel begins this message by quoting Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. When Jesus said, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with them." Yoo-hoo! Jesus is with us. Well, we have more than 2 or 3 here. Why wouldn't Jesus be with us, right? As Virginia asks me every day, Mom, I want to see Jesus' face. I want him to come here to our home. I said, me too. And I said, you know, Virginia, if we want to see Jesus very closely, we need to go where people who are suffering are. Because no doubt, he's going to be there. He's going to be there to help. He's going to be there to console. He's going to be there to assist. He's going to be there to support. He's going to be there for every single purpose because he volunteered for the task to guide us, to tutor us. So why wouldn't he be there? And of course, he's here with us. He's here with us more than we can imagine. We cannot take it for granted. And Emmanuel, quoting that, he breaks it down by saying, understanding that each practitioner in the Christian Spiritist harvest takes on a specific task, we must then ask ourselves from time to time in the working group to which we belong. Am I a key solution regarding obstacles, or an element that aggravates obstacles? Am I a consistent companion to the lessons, or an assistant who, out of boredom, shows up from time to time? Am I a friend who understands and helps, or an inveterate critic who complicates and disapproves everything? Am I a restoring balm, or a poisonous, caustic individual? Am I an infirm person who is devoted to the good of the community, or a patient who has to be tolerated and treated by others? Am I a source of relief, or a deserted moor without benefits to anyone? Am I a support in good works, or a breach to the influence of evil? Am I a fruitful plant, or a destructive parasite? Am I a mainstay of peace, or a vehicle of discord? Am I a blessing or a problem? Let us make this observation, and we will check without difficulty if we are simply in the Spiritist doctrine, or if the Spiritist doctrine is already clearly within ourselves. Ooh la la. Have you ever imagined that the good spirits would give us, concede like the opportunity of putting together this beautiful checklist? And a checklist that asks about where we are. It's either or, either or, either or, either or. And you may be asked, but Vanessa, isn't that radical when it's either or? In life, there's good and there's evil. There is the good and goodness, the good, God. And there is the absence of good, absence of goodness. We call it evil. It's like light and darkness. What is darkness? Absence of light. What is evil? Absence of good. Is that it? Yes. So, in that regard, we're not being radical. We're not creating polarities. We're just using words to determine a position that we have in our lives. When we talk about mental work, feelings, there's no like in between. There is the good, which is a frequency. It's vibration. Andre Luis talks about it in one of his books, many of his books, but especially Mechanisms of Mediumship, not in English yet. But that book, he talks about two types of mental currents that we construct and that we partake. Constructive mental currents or destructive mental currents. It seems basic for us, but it's deeper than we imagine. Because we cannot be constructive thinking negatively. We cannot be constructive when we are feeling negatively. We cannot be constructive when we are inciting negative thoughts, feelings, actions in others. So we need to make a choice. It's either constructive or destructive. There's no neutrality. In life, there's no neutral position. So much so that Kardec asked this question in the Spirit's book. It is published. He says, you remember? When Kardec says to us, he asks this question, the ultimate question that we ask, well, if somebody is not doing any harm to anyone, any evil, is there any issue? And then the answer is, of course, I'm not quoting precisely the question, but that's towards those lines. And it says precisely, when somebody is not doing the good, they are doing evil. There's no neutral position. It makes so much sense. There's no neutral position. Even the birds, they have their role. The trees, we were explaining to children the other day that the tree is there, firm, solid, and through the works of this being, we can breathe oxygen. Not that we can breathe oxygen, we have oxygen available to us. And that's one of the beautiful things that comes out as by the existence of a tree. Why are we saying this? Because if a being in the plant kingdom is useful, even the worm is useful to aerate the ground, the soil of the earth, why would we think we are not? So, to be useful, we need to make a choice. Do the good. Do the good, do the good, do the good, do the good. And we need to make a choice of helping, externalizing what is good for us. Doing the good is a mere externalization of what we have inside of us. You're not going to recreate anything. You're just going to externalize it. I will just externalize it. It must be first inside of us for it to come true later. What do you think? What do you think, my friends? Therapeutic question? Yes, it is a therapeutic question. It is a therapeutic question for all of us. Okay? What are the good things that you have inside of us that you can easily externalize? A list of 3. 3 things that you feel there are good things inside of you that you just need to externalize. You're not doing that yet. I'll give you an example. Okay? For example, let's say you love coloring. But you are an adult and you think, oh, life is so busy, I don't want to work on this, or I don't have time to work on this. Well, that good, the artistic part of you, is good to be externalized. So buy a set of colored pencils, coloring pencils. Buy those books, the coloring books, and color it. But when, Vanessa, you know when you're talking on the phone with somebody, you're talking on the phone. Let's pretend this is a phone. It's not a phone. Right? It's a remote control. So let's say I'm talking on the phone with somebody, a friend, we're talking. What am I doing with the right hand? Take some coloring pencils and color, draw. These are good things. Artistic things inside of us are good to be externalized because they balance our brains. They make us feel more integral, integrating right and left hemispheres, making us work also on our emotions. Arts are good ways to work on our emotions. And this is something good we need to externalize. Our society needs to be more in tune with the right hemisphere, which is the good. Intuition, mediumship, and compassion, and arts, playing instruments. Oh, but I don't want to be an artist. You don't have to be an artist, but you are working on your artistic part to become more whole. That's very important. Why are you saying this, Vanessa? Because when Emmanuel is giving to us this checklist today, he's asking us to do this self-observation. Find the good in us. So he asks, in the Spiritist group, we all have a specific task, he says. Do you have a specific task in your center? Yes or no? Oh, Vanessa, I don't have a center. I don't have a group. But in the internet group that you have, do you have a role? Because we all have a specific task. And he's asking us if in that task we are, and then he gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions, checklist to ask. Am I a key solution regarding obstacles or an element that aggravates? You want an example? It's that person in the Spiritist Center that knows that the light's not working, and instead of saying, oh, here we go again, they're like, okay, don't worry, I know how to fix it. They stand up and go and fix. Or find help to fix. Instead of aggravating. Oh, we always have these problems. And then, right? I know, Livia, we're one step from getting you on the boat. We need your help. It's likely that tomorrow we have a new website for Kardec Radio. We'll announce to you, but we've been working for months on a new website, a new app, podcast system, more than 3,000 podcasts for you. And it's likely tomorrow we're going to launch it. So let's keep our fingers crossed, prayerful. And as soon as we get it running, we're just transferring domains, etc. We'll let you all know. But that's why we couldn't assign anything to some of you, because we're waiting for the system to be in place so we can get your help in. We need help. So thank you for asking, okay? Hello, Rihanna. How are you? Beautiful works with the recipes of peace in South Africa. Karina, how are you, Karina Alice? And Leia Severo, right, Leia? Leia also knows about this transition. She's participating and helping. And Karina is also helping with the beautiful. I'm looking forward, Karina, to let you know that your books got to the Spiritist Center in Brazil. I haven't heard anything out, but we'll stay in touch, right? Angelita, fraternitywithoutborders.org. And Andrea Torres, beautiful Andrea, beautiful Ceisa, Ceisa, right? Beautiful Erica, how are you? And Adilson, dear friend, how are you? Isael Araújo, where are you coming from, Isael? And John the Rose, we were just there together. The Spirit sort of about, Virginia, and together doing those study sessions on missionaries of the light. Sarita, how are you? Lívia Moraes, Lisa Teles, Sarita, beautiful Sarita, and Rosalind Rose, beautiful California. Hipólito, how are you? Teresa Castro, beautiful Sylvia, how are you? Animércia, beautiful Animércia, our Spiritist singer from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Rudy, pleasant present, presente, beautiful present gift to us. 10 points, we're going to recap, because this is our self-observation. When Allan Kardec, and we're repeating the Spirit's book, quoting it all the more. And you know why? Because it's the foundation. The Spiritist practitioner that does not study continuously its basic books cannot do much. We need to study it, instruct ourselves. And in that book, the Spirit's book, we're celebrating 160 years of that phenomenal book. We cannot forget that our beautiful, beautiful Allan Kardec asked questions that are helping us take our lives to another direction. For example, he asks, what can we do to expedite progress and avoid wrongdoings? What is the answer? The Spirit said, self-knowledge. Self-knowledge. So oh, okay. Thank you, Karina. The books arrived on September 20th. Yay, you tracked it. Yeah, I'm gonna give a call and make sure, because they didn't tell me yet. But for sure, probably they're traveling or they are busy. But thank you, Karina. Many books. I'm looking forward to being with you and them as well. Teresa Castro, is the spirit inspiration a form of mediumship? Well, remember when Kardec talks about words, Teresa? Words are so important in a science. The science of the spirits also requires that we pay attention to words, because they become technical terms. And I can address this question to you later, but inspiration, intuition are two things that may be part of the same but different. Okay? I will address this with you later. Thank you, Teresa. 10 questions for all of us to boost our self-knowledge and become a better Spiritist practitioner too. First, are we a key solution to obstacles, regarding obstacles, or are we aggravating obstacles? Make a checklist. How many points are you going to make? Write it down. Two, a consistent companion to the lessons, or an assistant who out of boredom shows up from time to time? People who come consistently? Am I consistent in my participation in the center? Or am I just like, yeah, I come every night, like a tourist? Write it down to see how many points you're going to do. Each right one is a point. Each wrong one, and I say wrong quote unquote, is 0. Okay? 3, a friend who understands and helps, or somebody who is always criticizing and disapproving everything. Ay, ay, ay. Are we a restoring balm, or a poisonous, caustic individual? Somebody who comes and says, I know it's hard, but let's keep going. Let's stand together. Right? Or somebody who is constantly saying, yeah, the world is terrible. Oh, you have no idea. Really got a headache? You have no idea. I get migraines every day. And then somebody comes to the center looking for consolation, and we give them more problems, our problems. This is not a Spiritist practitioner. We should have a rule of thumb in our Spiritist centers. What is it? If you are a Spiritist practitioner, you do not talk about your life unless it's something good that is going to rejoice. But the focus point is always the public who is coming in, the attendee, who is the center for us, the discarnate spirits who need help, not us. About us, we practice selflessness. Selflessness. Ultimate goal to achieve good connection with the good spirits. Selflessness and humility. And humility is a funny word because people think humility is about somebody who doesn't show up on Facebook, who doesn't have Facebook, who doesn't have WhatsApp, who doesn't show up anywhere, stays home and is quiet, doesn't talk to anybody. That's not humility. That's somebody who is not in the 21st century. In the United States of America or in the greater society on the earth. You don't have a cell phone, you don't have a computer, but if you do, use it. Of course, use it. No, you're not showing off when you use Facebook Live. Unless you're showing your muscles, your body, your plate of food, your big family. But if you're sharing good knowledge, that's not about vanity. And I'm saying this not because of me. Because many people have been contacting me. Vanessa, I have this idea, that and the other. Should I use this venue? Should I use that venue? And I say, but if you don't use social media to share what is good for you, what are you going to do with the social media? You think social media is only to show people when they are at the beach, when they are partying, when they are at the club? For those reasons, people should be ashamed that they are showing themselves and using social media just for that, because that's selfish. Showing myself at the beach does not help anybody. Taking a picture of my food of plate and showing to the world doesn't help anybody. But if when I take a picture of a book, when I share a message of things that are uplifting, that's not vanity. That's charity, because it's love in action. What is good for me is good for you. I mean, Spiritism. The Spiritist message. Why not? Do it responsibly, but do it. Don't postpone it. Right, Valkyria? A big kiss to you, Valkyria. Tuani and Luciana, beautiful friends. Checklist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I an infirm person who is devoted to the good of the community, or a patient who has to be tolerated and treated by others? There's nothing worse than pity party. What, Vanessa? Pity party. When people come and people are tolerating them. You know what is being tolerated? It's when you come to the center and you feel sorry about yourself and you say, oh, I have this problem. And you're there year after year after year. Everybody who comes knows, let's go to that center, the center where we have that person that is always sick. The person becomes a reference, but a negative reference. Right, Ariel? Where are you coming from, Ariel? Let us know. So, are we somebody who is infirm, but useful and devoted? Or who is infirm and asking people to be understanding, to be tolerated? Are we a source of relief in the center, or somebody who weighs heavily on the group without benefiting the group? There are cases and cases of this. A support in good works, or a breach to the influence of evil? An example of this is this. Let us do an event about something, and that person is like, but why? Why do we have to do that event? Well, because we want to share with people the Spiritist view on this, and people are saying, But why? Influence of evil. We're being that open door to evil. Okay? We don't want to be that. Right? We want to do what? Support the good works. If the good spirits say, let's do a meeting, Spiritist meetings in English, we're not going to say, but why? If we're Brazilians. Because we live in the United States or we live in a country that speaks English. So we need to fulfill God's will. So everybody has a chance in both realms, right? So this is good for us thinking about. Emmanuel is asking us to think where we are. Hello, Tara Gabrielle. She's saying, I'm a new listener to your program and I'm loving it. Wonderful to learn about spirit. Welcome, Tara. Let us know where you're coming from, okay? Just so we know where you are. But thank you. And if you have questions or comments, feel free to share. If we cannot answer now, we'll answer to you later. 4 more. Emmanuel is asking. 3 more, sorry. A fruitful plant or a destructive parasite? No, Vanessa, I'm not a parasite. But what is a parasite? Somebody who goes to the center, doesn't help, but benefits from everything that is good without any support. We're talking about the Spiritist worker, the Spiritist Practitioner. Supposedly, they have to be in action. But sometimes it just so happens. I remember I met presidents of Spiritist centers. I'm not going to say where. It doesn't matter, but it's an example. Who would go in the center, say a prayer, and nothing else. Other people would give talks, do mediumistic works, or not even say a prayer. Would come in, sit down, not say a prayer, not read a message, not give a talk. Presidents of the Spiritist Center. So in that case, the president of the center almost became a parasite. Especially when good works are to be done and the person is blocking. I'm just giving an example so we think about it. Emmanuel is asking us, am I a mainstay of peace or a vehicle of discord? Am I creating peace? Peace in the world begins with me. When I so love, I know I'm truly happy. When we're kind to one another, we know true love and kindness in our hearts. Right? Peace for peace. To our children, peace for peace. For our forests, peace for peace. For the courage to transform. This is the English version of the song by Nando Cordel, the music. Paz pela paz. Peace for peace. And are we like that, promoting peace and sometimes promote peace? We need to. Tonight, we were studying chapter 18, 19, and 20 of the Missionaries of the Light, Andrea Lewis at the Spiritist Center, Virginia. Chapter 18 talks about obsession in a very peculiar way. And Andrea Lewis describes to us his learning experience with Mentor Alexander when they've got this understanding that this woman, she deserved the protection of the good spirits, their treatment, their intervention, because of 3 elements. She was constantly praying. She worked a lot on self-control, which is a lot about emotional management, and the 3rd part, meditation. So prayer, meditation, self-control. Prayer, meditation, self-control. So here we have how we can promote peace by first taking care of that within ourselves. We cannot give peace when we don't feel it inside of us. So before you go to the center, a good practice is this. Put your hand here on your chest to feel the vibration that you are emanating in your physiology. And tell yourself before you go to the center, I am light, I am peace, I am joy of living. I am light, I am peace, I am joy of living. I am light, I am peace, I am joy of living. And visualize yourself meeting your Spiritist colleagues and members and friends at the Spiritist group. Visualize yourselves being peaceful, peacemakers. Visualize yourself being controlled and composed and grounded and mindful and emanating kindness and love and firmness too, but this conviction inside that is for peace, with peace, to peace, okay? And finally, are you a blessing or a problem in the Spiritist group? These are Emmanuel's questions, 10 questions that make the ultimate checklist for the Spiritist practitioner in the Spiritist Center or in the Spiritist group. This is it for us today, friends. And don't forget, after all of this, peace in the world begins with us. When I choose love, I know I'm truly happy. Yes, when we are kind, right, Paulo Andrade, to one another, we know true love is deeply in our hearts. The time has come for building peace on earth. We don't believe in the lack of love. Peace for all of you. Peace for the whole world. Peace for peace, so we can meet again tomorrow. Big hug, friends, and until tomorrow, God willing, more Emmanuel tomorrow. Here, wisdom for the Spiritist practitioner.